Alright, we are back with another video on Bitcoin and the crypto markets as a whole. Today what I'm going to be discussing about is the potential bear market rally we can see, what sort of resistance levels we can come to, and where I do think we will also bottom at for Bitcoin, where I think we will go to next after this rally has completed. We'll also be discussing about altcoin Bitcoin valuations. Altcoins against Bitcoin and why I sold 35% of my Ethereum. Let's get this started right here. We'll first be discussing about the Bitcoin price action as a whole, and we'll be talking about some sort of thing. So I think it was the last video about a month ago that I discussed. I think it was this weekly close right here. That when we close below the stinking below the 100-week moving average, we just teleport straight to the 200-week moving average band, and we did just that. We did go straight down to the 200-week moving average band. We actually got a quick little wick right here, but I do think this wick will get filled, and I'll discuss that in a sec. Going back to the daily, we've sort of just been consolidating for a long time since we've gotten to the 1,000-day moving average right here. Since we've gotten to that level, we've just been sort of consolidating like that, and we've sort of just been like that. And if you look at other coins like Ethereum, Ethereum's dropped, Solana's dumped, and the Bitcoin dominance is rising. As you can see, the Bitcoin dominance has been rising, and I do think we will get all the way up to 59% dominance. I do think we can get up to 60% dominance for Bitcoin. So what do I think will happen to Bitcoin alone? And actually, in terms of US dollar terms, the only graph I really care about is Bitcoin. When it comes to altcoins, it's all dependent on their Bitcoin valuations, because Bitcoin's sort of the king of crypto. Everybody knows that. And alts sort of just follow what Bitcoin does. And the alts that you want to hold are the ones that outperform Bitcoin. So if you're not outperforming Bitcoin as an altcoin, what in the world is the point of holding an altcoin? So obviously, USD does matter a little bit, but the more important thing is against their Bitcoin. So let's discuss Bitcoin versus US dollar terms. We're getting a nice little rally right now. We have sort of rallied up to this 20-day moving average, and if you look at the fibs right here, let's see what we have for fibs. We have sort of wicked a little bit above that 0.786, and if you look at longer term fibs like right here, since we've started dumping, giga dumping right here, we've only really rallied to the 0.236 if we measure it from daily bodies right here. If we measure from daily bodies right here, as you can see, we rallied right to and got rejected from that 0.236. But I do think maybe we can get up to this 0.382. I do think that potentially, and if you look at sort of the what sort of pattern I think we may follow in the few days or so, I do think that we can BART up a little bit. We're sort of following December. Following December quite closely, as you can see. If you kind of do this right here, we're sort of following December pretty well, so you can even see that we're sort of getting that little rally up, and the wick's actually quite bigger on this one. That's insane. We can get this little rally up, BART up towards that $32,000 level. Not quite get to where we broke support at 33,000, but you know, get close to that and sort of BART up and then BART down. And then right here, what I've sort of been calling for a little bit is that maybe we get an actual wick below the 0.382. So I do think that the long-term support, the ultimate buying opportunity of a lifetime, is at this 0.382 level. And if you look at other sort of trends, we have sort of been correcting to the 0.382. We corrected to it back in 2018. If you look at, I was also discussing that in other legacy markets, we sort of also correct to the 0.382. Yeah, see right here, 0.382 there. And if you look at the other legacy markets like the S&P 500, I do call for the 0.382 to be tested as well. As we are sort of getting this bear market rally right at around 3,500-ish or so. And just looking at all the other monthly time frames, like right here, stinking 2011, 0.382. Yep, see right here, and then March 2020 was also 0.382 from 2011. Literally wicked right there. The 0.382 is awesome. I was discussing here that the super cycle Elliott waves are kind of BS. But just looking at some other bear markets, like right here, other famous bear markets like the 1980s, which is what I think this is compared to in the equity markets. 1987, and then 2008 is literally 0.382 test as well from 1987. So you can see right here, and it wicked below that. That's why I think we do wick below that, because I do think it's very comparable to the 2000/2008 corrections in the stock market. This is sort of like the March 2020 flash crash right here, and then this is sort of this big giga correction where, in this case, a lot of tech companies, a lot of speculative tech companies died. And in this scenario right here, and this is for the weekly time frame right here, in this scenario right here, this is where a bunch of speculative altcoins are dying. So I do think that right here, we do wick below that, and I do think that the wick below is the Sailor's margin call. I do think that Sailor's margin call will occur, and I do think that his stop will be 100, and his margin call is at 21,000. I've been discussing this since we were above 40K. I've been discussing 23K on my Twitter for a long, I wouldn't say a long time, for about a couple months or so, because of those fib levels, and we're finally here. We're finally at that 20. We're finally getting close to that. Yeah. And obviously the Fed, yeah, as you can see, we are sort of getting that nice little weekly pump, maybe up to 32K, a little bear market rally that we get there. I don't think this bear market rally is going to be significant, but we've been going down for 9 weeks straight. It will definitely not be surprising to get sort of a mean reversion rally, maybe also up towards, if we look at the dailies, maybe when we BART up a little bit, the 50. Let's see, will the 50 week come? Yeah, the 50 week will come, and that will be the 50 EMA test from the underside. But if you look at the overall trend, looking at the daily moving averages, bearish. What does the 3-day moving averages show? Bearish as well. If we look at the weeklies, we're starting to form a bearish sort of bias. But when the 20-week does cross below the 100-week, that's usually when we do see the capitulation bomb. So I do think we are close, and I've been stacking more Bitcoin recently than I have before. But it's only been Bitcoin. It's not been Ethereum. I've actually been selling some Ethereum as well. For Ethereum, I did sell a little bit of Ethereum around this range right here, around this range right here. I did sell probably maybe like 10% of my Ethereum for cash right here. But recently, just yesterday, I've sold more Ethereum for Bitcoin. I've sold more Ethereum for Bitcoin. And why is that? Why am I selling Ethereum for Bitcoin down at these levels right here, even though these are technically low levels, even though I do think that we will go down, and I do think I do actually kind of see us tapping 700, as crazy as that sounds. I do think that we will go a lot lower in USD terms, but I do think there's no reason for me personally to be stacking Ethereum right now, because it's going down against Bitcoin for a while. If you look at Ethereum right here, this is what you call the distribution top. This is a distribution top right here. As you can see, we got the little wide cough right here. See right here. And yes, it looks like we are going to be barting down. Where exactly will we be barting down to? I do have a target of, I do think that we can get all the way down to 0.2 Ethereums per Bitcoin, which is about a 50% drop from here. So it's going to be going down 50% in terms of sats over the coming months. I do think it'll kind of look like this. I do think it'll go down for a while, and then maybe even go like a little bit lower. Who knows? And then maybe when Bitcoin eventually hits a new all-time high, I'm assuming maybe like Q2 of 2023, then it'll start going up again, and then that's where we'll see the peak at. But this is ugly. This is very ugly. And it's still topped. It's still in the top zone. It's still at its peak. It's a BART pattern type peak. And actually, what this is comparable to, there's a few things that's comparable to. It looks a lot like this Wyckoff distribution top, except it's been distributing for much longer. It's been distributing for much longer, as you can see right here. We got the little Wyckoff distribution right here. 4 tops, head and shoulders, double top pattern right there. If you look right here, actually, is this a head and shoulders with a double top right here? No, it's not head and shoulders with a double top, because this top is a lot larger than that top. No, it's more just a distributive top. And I do think we will bleed quite heavily against Bitcoin, like that. And I do think we can draw a nice face there for a BART pattern. Just like Amazon, I was calling for this Amazon BART pattern to occur for a while too. As you can see, it's almost retraced all of its COVID gains right here. It's dropped all the way down to. It looks like it's going to go all the way down to the golden pocket. I do think that for Amazon, and this is sort of what's comparable to Amazon on the monthly as well. Amazon's sort of seen this distributive top right here as well. It's just been distributing for a while, and that's not good. This is not a good looking chart right here at all. And I do think that we're bound to go a lot lower against Bitcoin. 0.2 potentially. I could even see us going back down to the March 2020 lows. I could see us going down to here. Maybe not quite getting there, because if you look at the last sort of altcoin Bitcoin or Ethereum Bitcoin valuation, we saw us going down, cutting below the golden pocket, and we didn't quite get to the 0.786. So honestly, my main target could be here, but I do think we could maybe even go a little bit lower and then trending up like that. This is sort of what I see, something like that. I don't think it's going to go straight down, but I do think that it will go down pretty sharply versus Bitcoin. And yeah, I sold that Ethereum for Bitcoin, still in this sort of distributive range right there. Now let's discuss about something that's even uglier. And this is the total 3 over Bitcoin. And it looks very similar to Ethereum versus Bitcoin. These are the other altcoins that are non-Ethereum. If you look right here, I do think that we can actually get a lot lower. I think we can go all the way down to this range. So my optimistic case is a golden pocket retest, which means that alts will bleed from here around 50% again from its Bitcoin valuation. But honestly, with the amount of crap that's in the market, I think we can go all the way down to the 2020 lows right here. We can go down 80% versus Bitcoin, and this could actually be in a bull market too. This could be in a bull market where, you know, in the bear market, this is where alts bleed more than Bitcoin's bleeding. And then, you know, let's see, like right here, we get into the bull market. You know, alts maybe rally a bit, but Bitcoin's going to be rallying. Ethereum's going to be rallying, but most of the alts are just going to be left in the dust. They're just going to be staying still with Bitcoin rallying. Actually, no, this is not where the bull market starts at. So, yeah, we'll get this right here. Yeah, see, they're just going to dump like crazy against Bitcoin, you know. And then boom, like that. And then this is the top right here where they rally again, and then it looks like an oscillator though. It looks like that it's not an uptrend at all. We've actually made a cyclical lower high. I think we can go back down to the range lows. I do think we can go back down to the 2018 lows right there. Maybe even lower. Maybe all the way down to the start. I'm not bullish on alts at all. Not even close. Not even close. Not one bit. And that same goes for Bitcoin dominance right here. I think Bitcoin dominance is going all the way up to 60% because in these rallies, or in these sort of whatchamacallits, these bear markets, when the bear market's finished, the confidence in alts aren't going to be there. They're going to be focused on Bitcoin. So just like me, I'm accumulating Bitcoin right now. That's it. I'm not accumulating anything else. I still have a little bit of Ethereum. I still have about half the Ethereum that I used to. I sold for cash right here in sort of that $3,500 range, and I sold some recently for Bitcoin right at around this range right here. Right here is where I sold it, and I do think we'll go down a lot more versus Bitcoin in the coming months. And that's what I was talking about. Altcoins do, almost all of them, trend to zero versus Bitcoin over time. Look at stuff like Litecoin. If you look at Litecoin, Bitcoin, this is just a pure downtrend right here. Downtrend, Litecoin, Bitcoin. Look at some other alts. Is there any other alts that I have? Chainlink versus Bitcoin. This one's actually kind of nice, but since 2020, it's been going down versus Bitcoin. This one's actually been dumping heavy versus Bitcoin. We got Solana Bitcoin, that one's going down. Matic Bitcoin, that's a downtrend. Polkadot Bitcoin, hardly any of these altcoins. I'd say Solana is the only one that's sort of over the last year been very, very bullish on Bitcoin. That and Ethereum. But all these other ones are just trash because most of them are garbage. Like look at Luna, stinking. I think it's like Hex or something. Hex is starting to expose itself as a scam. Is it Hex? Yeah. Look at Hex. Ooh wee, yeah. Heck, oh geez, it's gone up a lot since. Wait, no, that's 2020. Is that no? That's not the altcoin. That's an actual company. Is this anything else I really have to say? Dogecoin, Bitcoin, trash. That's about it really that I have to say. Bitcoin is king right now, for sure. Even though Ethereum is having a really wonderful day, actually. Jeez, it's up 1%. Wow. Did I sell the bottom? No, I didn't. Yeah, what was I getting at? Yeah. But I'm not selling any Bitcoin. Bitcoin is one thing that I'm not selling for USD at all, as of right now. I'll sell it in the next bull market. Right now, this is my first year in the market, so I'm just observing. But I'm making moves with Ethereum Bitcoin valuations and Ethereum USD valuations. Since right here, I did take some profits right here from when I bought back towards this range right here. That's when I started actually in the markets, believe it or not. I started back after, sort of like right here. I sort of bought into this rally, but I was able to take slight profits right here. I did not take any over here whatsoever. I was bullish right there. I'm going off on tangents for a while. I'm just discussing about altcoin, Bitcoin valuations and Bitcoin USD valuations to where I think we can see something like this play out. Let's see how well this ages. It'd be very interesting to see how well this sort of chart ages right here. And then right here, when we get towards this zone is when I start flipping giga, mega, moon boy. I start stacking like crazy when we drop below the 1,000-week moving average, and I'm already starting to stack a lot more than I did earlier. I've stacked probably the same amount over the last few weeks of Bitcoin that I've stacked probably since the start of the year. But that's all I really have to get at for this video. So that's all that I really have to say. Don't just copy me. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm very new to the market, so just do any research before you make any decisions when it regards to crypto markets. I'm terrible on going off on tangents, but yeah, that's all I really have to get at for this. So yes, that's it. That's the charts. Bitcoin, one last drop soon, or one last bear market rally, and then one last drop. Alts versus Bitcoin, trash. Altcoins versus Bitcoin, trash for a while. Alts are garbage. So yes, bye.